Alen! 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 Al! Alen! Alen!
Today is all about sound. Let's go.
What's happening, everyone? Today I want to talk to you about something that has a huge influence on the filmmaking process, yet almost gets unnoticed in our everyday lives. Sound. Used in the right way, it can really enhance certain visual elements by allowing you to tell a story and captivate your audience's attention. So a short while ago, I really got into filmmaking and specifically creating videos for YouTube when I came across this amazing music licensing platform called Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound really opened up my ears to the opportunities that come from having a wider selection of music and sound effects. So I've been really using it for video, but it got me thinking, could it add another dynamic to my photography? I've been playing with the idea of adding motion to my photos on my Instagram stories, and I decided to throw in some music to see what would happen, and here's what I came up with.
Oh yeah, 360 American 546. I like the sound of giving it.
In these three examples, I actually thought back to the moment that I was there and the kind of sounds I was hearing in the environment around me. I also took into consideration the type of feelings that the images provoke themselves. Each image has a certain mood to it that you have to understand when you're applying music to it. Honestly, discovering sound, or should I say rediscovering sound, really got me inspired in thinking of ways of incorporating sound and music to my photography and my visual content. So much so that I want to challenge you guys to see what you come up with. I'm going to provide you with a brief tutorial on how I add music to my photos, and I want to see what you guys come up with on your end and share that with me. So go ahead to the description of this video below, find the link for Epidemic Sound, sign up for a 1 free month of trial, download the music that you like or the sound effects that you like, apply them to some of the photos that you have and try to bring them to life. Once you've done that, upload your favorite content to Instagram stories, tag me in them. I want to see what you guys come up with. My favorites I'm going to reshare on my Instagram stories so you guys get a chance to see what everyone else comes up with.
So the real question, how do I create these visuals and find my music? Step number 1, you want to begin by selecting your image. The best photos to use for the scale motion technique are photos with a prominent subject in focus and background that is out of focus. They make the editing process much easier and quicker. I'm going to be using this photo of my friend Maori that we shot on Yonge Street in downtown Toronto. One technique I use to make the motion part of the image easier is by capturing the scene twice. Once with Maori or your subject in the frame and once without. Once you've selected your images, you're ready for step number 2, which is the process of isolating your subject in Photoshop. So you want to open up Photoshop. Now that you have Photoshop open, you need to isolate your subject from the background. To do this, you have the option to use the lasso tool and draw around your subject, or you could simply use the quick selection tool. Just be aware that when you use the quick selection tool, you make sure to track the corners of your subject as to not lose any information. Once you've selected your subject, you want to hit Command C and copy that selection. Then hit Command V. This will paste the selected subject onto a new layer for you. You've noticed your selection is on a transparent background. This is good. Next step is to export your subject as a PNG file with a transparent background. Now you have the two files to work with. One the background and the second of your subject, so let's move forward. Step number 3, you want to open up Premiere Pro. Once you have Premiere Pro ready, drop in your background and subject files. Stretch your timeline to the length you need. I'm going to make this one about 6 seconds. Now we have to create that motion. To do this, simply select your first visual, the background, and use the video effects tool from the effects control panel. Now you want to decide if you plan to make your background scale smaller or larger as the video plays. In this case, I plan for it to scale larger around 130, so I'm going to set my point there, then go to the end of the clip and scale back to 100. Now for the second layer, which is of Maori, I want him to scale larger as the video processes, so I'll start at a scale about 100, then go to the end of the timeline and adjust it to about 130. Once all that process is done, you'll have the following. But we're not done. We're moving on to step number 4, which is finding your music and sound. Go to the link in my description below and click on the link to Epidemic Sound. Sign up for your free month subscription. Once you've signed up, use their amazing search tool and find the music and sounds you would like to apply onto your motion photos. Take into consideration the mood you want to provoke through sound. For this photo, I want to have a nice low music base, then add sounds of pedestrians, cars, an ambulance, and other noises. As an example, I'm going to search late night traffic. If you like what you hear, which in this case I do, I simply add it to my YouTube tutorial playlist. Once I find all my music, I'll go to my playlist and download the list of files. Moving forward to step number 5, which is adding your music and sounds to your timeline. Once you've selected and downloaded your music, simply drag and drop it onto your timeline and start the editing process. I want my bass layer to be much lower in volume compared to the sounds of the street, so I'm going to fade in the music and fade out depending on the noises. Now that I have everything selected and organized, here's the final result. Now what we want to do is go to step number 6, which is exporting your file. What you want to do is go to File, Export, Media, and you want to leave the format as H.264. Then scroll down to Basic Video Settings and make sure Render at Maximum Depth is checked off and use Maximum Render Quality. Then simply export. So here's the final result of this video. So there you have it. A simple and effective way to truly bring your photos to life.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Always remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys all next week. Peace!